What's up, guys? It is Will here, back again for another episode of Lights, Camera, Kiko, Natalie G Collects. And Natalie, so many people were concerned about your safety and well-being. So I think everyone's pretty delighted. You deserve a round of applause for doing well with the hurricane. You are a veteran, a pro, and a true savant at hurricane survival tactics. So good to see you. Collection's looking as great as always. I actually like the turtleneck. Looks really nice. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yes. This is Florida winter gear.
It's Florida winter.
It is Florida winter. It's freezing. It was like 60 degrees this morning.
That's like good for Kiko and I. Like 60 degrees is like good. I mean, it's kind of cold right now too, Kiko, where we're at too. So it's, yeah. Kiko, your hair looks great, by the way. It's never looked better.
Yeah.
Thank you, Will. I hope I'm not rubbing it in that I have, you know, even more hair now.
Oh no, dude, it's fine. It's fine. I've gotten so much shit about being bald, and at this point, brushes right off my bald head, dude. It just slides right off.
I gotta say, like, Nat, I feel like you and I at least have. I feel in tune with Nat a little bit right now, if that's fair to say.
I mean, honestly, yeah, just different shades, but otherwise, yeah, you're in tune. It's
Nat,
a similar length.
As someone with longer hair, I know we're not talking about bologna or food right now, but we can switch gears if we need to.
We can.
That's usually the way we start these. Nat, what do you do about hair in your face? Is that a thing, or do you just push it back?
It's always behind my ear.
See, I can't really do that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got the headphones on. You got the headphones on. It's a little bit more challenging.
Yeah. Or you get yourself one of these. I don't have one next to me. Hair clips. Get it, and then you just this one piece. It's funny when I'm around doing cleaning or doing something, I'll have just like a random hair clip, keeping just this out of my face because otherwise, yeah. Or
because it itches me, it bothers me a little bit. So
yeah.
But for those who don't know, this is for our House of the Drago party tomorrow, and obviously I'm going as Aegon Targaryen, and here you go.
Dude, that's pretty exciting, though. I wish I was able to make it for that.
When you're done with it, you just dunk it in black hair dye, and then you become Snape. And 2 costumes, 1 wig.
There you go.
That's not bad, for sure, especially if you are a Potter fan. And I was actually talking about Snape with one of my buddies this week, and he believes he's one of the best characters, if not the best character in the franchise.
That's actually fair. InArt's making him. So
you know, you're a good character when you can go from someone who is hated for almost the entire franchise and then become beloved in 1 scene.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, Kiko's pretty good with his impressions, honestly.
He is.
After all this time, always. You know.
Also, Amy's in the chat. Shout out to Amy. Where's your wig cap in Kievan?
Where's my wig cap? Is this not it? I don't know what I'm doing.
Are you supposed to have a wig cap?
I don't know what a wig cap is. I thought wig.
Oh, isn't that like a wig cap is where you like bald yourself, right? Like you put it over your actual hair. And
I don't know.
Oh, maybe is that what she means, Natalie? Like a wig and then a
it's like if you've seen like the behind the scenes of like shows and stuff, when they put wigs on, they do a bald cap. You're right, yeah, to make it lay flat.
About the wig cap that goes underneath the wig, and he said wig cap.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how that works. Okay, so Mario Collects 49 super chat. Thanks so much, Kiko Targaryen, first of his name, King of the Andals, and the first man, protector of the realm. That's him, bro. Thanks so much, Mario. I'm glad you super chat.
Long may she reign. He reign.
Yeah, long may Kiko reign. Kiko Collects reign, exactly. Yeah. But Kiko, I actually don't know if I thought of any food related like cold opens today.
It's been a streaky bit for a while. We've talked about bologna, crumble, cheesecake, pumpkin pie, and there was another one, some type of bread or something. I don't know. We've been doing it for like 3 months.
We honestly have been on a bit of a food kick lately. So I'm curious to see. Well, here's one actually. What do you think? Mashed potatoes. Are you good with mashed potatoes if they're like Bob Evans, or do you feel like you have to make your own potatoes? Like, do you feel like you have to mash them up and make them? Is that the best way, or can you just go the other way?
As someone who has like crushed like mashed potatoes up and not blended, but actually like cut them up, but then like mash them, like steam them and use like the little masher.
Yeah.
And put chives and things. I'm a starch connoisseur, a starch fiend. You can call me Tony Starch, perhaps.
Tony Starch, I like that.
But damn, I love me some mashed potatoes, honestly. Back when KFC used to do the mashed potato bowls, I don't know if they still do. I used to go all the time and drop, they had the mashed potatoes, the corn, the little nuggets, whatever those were, and some cheese and some gravy and mix it all up. It's pretty damn good. So
yeah, that does sound pretty good. I mean, KFC knew what they were doing when they mixed all that corn and mashed potatoes and chicken in that thing. They knew 100%. But yeah, happy to have both you guys here. I'm assuming everyone's doing well. Natalie, what you got to wait on this mashed potato thing? What are you feeling on this?
No comment.
You don't like mashed potatoes?
I mean, they're mashed potatoes. They're okay.
No, come on. They're better than okay. And Kiko's hair is better than okay also. That looks really good. But what about with butter, Natalie? Does that make them better than okay?
You can't eat mashed potatoes without butter.
You could. I've done it. I did it today.
I believe that you have.
We know Will has done things without butter.
I prefer butter. I'm with you guys. But
try this next time. It'll blow your
flavor.
mind. Put some salt in the potato.
Well, salt. I'm a little bit of a salt connoisseur. So
And
salt,
then
you don't have to tempt me.
garlic. Change your world.
Garlic is good. Garlic salt is.
I've not tried. Yeah, garlic salt is pretty good. Kiko's put that on my chicken before. I think. I'm pretty sure. Maybe once or twice. Yeah. But yeah, I haven't tried it on mashed potatoes. That would be new. That'd be new. So yeah. So I know I'm not even. So X-Men Supreme $5. Kiko will never financially recover from this quarter, dude. Honestly, I think he's onto something. He's onto something. I will say that the Bengals are rebounding.
Are they?
They beat the Giants. Yeah. So
barely. The only offensive score they had was Burrow's 47-yard run.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Joey Speed.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. It's Friday, October 18th, 5:26 p.m. We're going to get into our first topic of the evening because I think we got a lot of important stuff to talk about. So we don't want to waste any more time. I think Kiko, you're doing well, I'm assuming. Natalie, yeah. You look healthy. Everything's good. So I'm going to assume everyone's good. And we're going to move on to this first topic because this is something I think people really want to talk about. Jazzinc. Jazzinc put up 5 different Catwomen for pre-order. Well, there's 5 different packs. There's a single pack, a standard one, then a single deluxe one, and then you have a deluxe 2-pack that has both deluxe versions together. So there's 5 different SKUs essentially. And I'm going to bring up the Jazzinc website. The one thing you want to note is from what I was seeing, you actually cannot get this in the United States or I believe Canada or China, but in Europe you can buy this directly from Jazzinc. Otherwise, you're going through 1/6 Kit or Spec Fiction. Those are the 2 resellers of sorts that most collectors are going to end up going through. I apologize to people. I've not really followed this one as closely because this Catwoman is not really something that I'm personally that interested in. I've not even seen Batman Returns yet. So Kiko knows his disappointment with my lack of insight into that film. But nonetheless, Kiko, we need a commitment here from people, right? Because Jazzinc has got this up. They're going to make it limited. They got this for $950. On Kit, I think it's like 1,100 shipped, something like that. There's a big diorama base with the deluxe. There's 3 head sculpts for the clean version and the battle damage version if you get the deluxe options. There's some good looking offerings here. These look very good. But Kiko, the question is, you know how Hot Toys are. They're petty. They don't give a fuck. They see this and they say, you know what? We see you, So Toys. You made a classic Loki. We're going to make one even though we know no one's going to buy it just to fuck with you, right? And Hot Toys will do shit like that. So Kiko, should collectors wait for the Hot Toys Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman, or should they jump all in on this Jazzinc? What are your thoughts?
Well, my name is not Petty Pete for a reason down there. As you can see, I changed my name there. So this has been, I'm surprised how controversial and polarizing this one actually has become.
Yeah.
It's been quite, I'll just go, who cares? We get very criticized whenever we speak against the Jazzinc crowd. And we're not speaking against them. We're just talking about them. And we've said on record before, I'll say it before, it's very cultish. It's very cliquey. And if you're a Jazzinc fan, you're all in. And if you go against the grain there and you speak against their beloved products, you are kind of yelled at. And they do gang up on you for sure. And I say they, just the people that are the purists and are, big Yoast fans. And by the way, no bad feelings, ill will, or anything towards Yoast and the team. They make great stuff from what I can see. I have owned a couple Jazzinc products before. Speaking of their first 1/6 figure, which I was not impressed with. And to this date, we have not seen the actual prototype in hand before all these big prices came dropping down. Now, these promo photos look good. They really, really do.
Yeah.
But we've not seen the proto in person or anyone really handling it. I think that would have been nice. I think it's going to be welcome. And that's what a lot of people in different chats and online forums are saying. Like, can we see what this thing actually looks like outside of...
What was the figure that you had, if I can ask?
Oh, Iron Scavenger, the Vulture.
The Vulture,
okay.
Yeah.
Which essentially was an unmovable thing. You couldn't move it. And this is something that is quite a departure from that. Natalie, you got a question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was asking like what you're saying, like how was the body, how was the movement, was it flimsy or stiff?
It was on par, if not under other third-party stuff. Like I would have taken other third-party options over that. As I've said before, the manufacturing of the cars that they do and all that, the engineering of the wings was beautiful, very very cool. A little bit overpriced in my opinion, sure, but that's kind of what you're paying for a custom piece. And you'd said this is a limited Catwoman. Well, yeah, all of Jazz's stuff is limited because they don't reissue really. And so that's kind of what that is. So a lot of people were panicking about I need to get in there and get it now because it's limited. I'm going to miss my pre-order. I don't know what to do because there are 5 SKUs. There's 5 offerings and people panic. And then a lot of people got mad because they're like, whoa, what the fuck? It was $950, but now when I click out, it's $1,100. What is this VAT fee? Apparently, if you're in Europe, what is this? Why I'm paying? These upcharges are insane. I'm out now. So there's been a lot of controversy with some of the prices. Then you have to ask, okay, is this the right product for me? And does this price make sense? Because this is their first offering, people. Their first offering that's a real 1/6 figure. Because, like I said, I wasn't pleased with whatever you want to call Iron Scavenger, but this is their first one. That is an official 1/6 figure that they've done. Okay, they've done like the seated Batman and all those things that fit in. This is the first one. All right.
Yeah.
So you're saying, okay, do I go all in? Because, well, those are higher than InArt prices. And I'm not 100%. I've not seen anything in hand yet. So I don't know whether or not when this is all said and done, if this will be on par with the 2-pack Joker that we got from InArt. I don't know. It looks really good. But so did the Joker stuff from InArt as well. Yeah. And we saw how that turned out. The people complain about the wait time of Q1 2026, which is a little over a year from now. But I mean, if it turns out like this, you're getting essentially a custom piece and it's going to take some turnaround, but we don't know how it's going to turn out. And I asked Kevin today because I chatted with him, Kevin, Batman Collectibles. He said he's in the chat, or he might be in the chat. He said he's going to watch the show. But I said, hey, can I share your response to hopefully help some collectors out there? Because I think he gave the best response. Will, may I read that to our crowd?
Absolutely, dude. Go for it.
So this is from Batman Collectibles, good friend, local here. So I said this. I was like, hey, man, what are you doing about this Catwoman? The prices seem absurd. For the basic, you don't get enough. For everything, it's just way too expensive. I'm torn. That's what I said. And he gave me this insightful response. Yeah. He said, I'm with you. I couldn't justify over $1,000. What I ended up doing was both basics. Yes, all the sculpts look great, but I'm not one to change it up. I usually pose and leave it, and that's it. I ended up being $400 cheaper instead of the 2-pack or deluxes. Also, it'll be much easier to sell if you only want one or neither. Selling basics complete with box will be an easy sale, if they didn't like it, obviously. I struggled with clean or battle damage. I want clean to match the rest of my display, but the battle damage looks really good. Hence why I settled for both basics. We'll see what happens. Again, reselling 2 singles will be much easier than 2-packs. Look at all those InArt Joker 2-packs. Sorry for the book. But damn, if that's not exactly kind of what you want to hear.
Yeah.
If you're a space-conscious person, I know the deluxe base looks really cool. But if you're like me, do you really have... I got these dioramas that are filling... Every single hot toy at this point comes with some gigantic base now.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm starting to miss the little bases because they're getting too big at this point. You look at how big they're getting, the packages, everything's getting bigger. So if you don't want these bases, then get the basic. Because unless you're going to really need to go all out, I think that makes sense. Because as he said, if you decide that you don't want it, it's going to be a lot easier to sell and to flip if you have single packs. So that's what Kevin, Batman Collectibles said. I don't know, Nat, Will, do you think that makes sense?
I do think you're onto something, Kiko. I do think what we've seen with the InArt Joker, it's so hard to resell a 2-pack that you changed your mind on that cost you $1,200 because that's a big pill to swallow for a lot of collectors. So anyone on resale is thinking like, oh man, that's a lot of money to drop for these 2 figures and the space involved with it. And then you could have if you buy this 2-pack, right? And then Hot Toys comes in and offers a figure, what do you think the value is going to do? It's just, unless the Hot Toys one is asked, which I doubt, right? I don't think Hot Toys is going to give you 3 head sculpts, But again, like you said, Kiko, if you're not one to constantly engage with your figure and change the head sculpts and the poses often, then yeah, I mean, there's a lot of money to invest. I do think I'm with you though. The figures do look good. Jazzinc has done a very good job with these prototype photos and the prototype figures themselves. Head sculpts look great. Hair looks good. The latex looks good. All of it looks good. But I have some reservation, I guess, because look, they are new to figures, and I am giving the benefit of the doubt, kind of like we did with InArt in the beginning, but it's a lot of money to dedicate up front. So I think people are going to do it because they trust Yost and he's very, consistent and reliable. But the fact that Hot Toys could jump in at any moment gives you a little bit of pause, does it not?
And I was saying that you have till November 15th to make up your mind.
A month.
Essentially November 15th or 17th, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not like this idea of, we've talked about it, like day one pre-ordering. Do you have to do that? Now, I know if you are going with kit, which is one of the options, your invoice does matter for that. So if you want yours first, you had to get it in first. But if it just comes down to, am I going to get this or not? You do have time. They're not going to sell out. They're made to order. And the window is cut off in a month.
Yeah.
I still stand by. I think Hot Toys is still going to be there to be Petty Pete themselves, to try to cannibalize themselves, because I think they may let this go, let people put orders in, and then they want to see people cancel. I think that's what they want to do.
Honestly, they might do that just to be, like you said, super petty. They might just let you put the orders in and then say, okay, eat that NRD, and then you can come by.
Because do you want a deluxe Catwoman from Hot Toys for $350, or do you want a deluxe for $1,200? I think the math makes sense. And that's exactly what people did with the InArt Joker 4-pack. They're like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah, once Artisan, Joker came out, and now the Joker 2 is ass. You got more cancellations. But Natalie, what are your thoughts on this Jazzinc Catwoman here?
So I think you're spot on. I think Hot Toys would pull a Petty Pete. They would come in with their own version and steal some of the best aspects of the 2 deluxe and give them to you in an effort to drive all the cancellations. Like, I could see them doing something that is a little bit from the deluxe and a little bit from the regular and putting it all in one very affordable bundle. But you're risking that also, because if they don't do it, you'd just be waiting on them. But it's almost so guaranteed. It's so difficult to say. I do agree. I think Adrian was the one who said it, someone in here, that this was the best Catwoman. Mostly because obviously the first set of movies is the most, comic book accurate. As you get further along, you drift into the MCU, DCEU. But, it's Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. You've got to have it if you're a big Batman fan. I agree. I can't really justify the price on this, and I'm not a huge fan where I'd get it myself, but I really do like it. Like, I'd even be tempted to get this, but I couldn't justify that price. At least not the deluxe version. I think you'd probably be just like Kevin said, which, by the way, I thought Petty Pete was talking about speaking with Kiko Kevin, which I thought we were doing that narrative swap, and that was pretty fun. It's like even Petty Pete is obsessed with Kevin, as Kevin is obsessed with Kevin. So yeah, I think that's a good idea. Go with the basics. It's easier to sell those 2 if you do want to get these. There's some sculpts. What are those? Are those like the plates, or are those all different head sculpts?
Different heads, yeah.
They're all different heads. Okay, they're all different heads.
So you get 3 heads for like $450, yeah, or whatever it is, $500, yeah.
But you can only display one at a time, people.
You can, right. Yep.
And I think that's where Hot Toys comes in with just swapping out the mouthpieces, right, making it easier for you, which is almost guaranteed to be what they would do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You look at this suit and like the material it's made out of. It took Hot Toys maybe 3 or 4 3 generations of Deadpool to stop the pilling on that material. Like, that's trial and error. That comes with experience. That is not an easy feat. And so you're really trusting that this material is not going to peel on you or crack on you or break. So I don't know. I mean, it's ambitious. I like it. I think it came out really good. I think there's very much a likelihood that Hot Toys is going to come out with their own version. So if you do feel like you've got to get it and not risk it, you're better off maybe going with that base version. That way, if it does come out later that you've got a Hot Toys 1 coming that you'd rather get, it's easier to swallow.
Yeah, I think so. And Natalie, I agree with both of you guys. I do think this figure looks phenomenal. But it's just, and I see a super chat we're about to get to, but it's just a matter of, this is an artist sample, like the super chat was saying, and it's not a production sample, which is every figure, right? Every figure, the prototype is different. I understand that, but you're also looking at an expensive purchase where Hot Toys could also jump in, where you have to put down an NRD, and they don't have any figure track record. So same happened with InArt. I get that. I guess maybe we live in a different world now.
Really good though.
It does look amazing. So I do think
for the people, I don't thinking about it. Don't do that. Don't be that person. Not necessarily.
I'm not. I never even watched this movie. So
like, if you're even thinking about it, don't be that person. It's like, well, I'm gonna wait for the Hot Toys, and then it never comes,
right?
And you miss out on this. It looks really good.
It's a tough decision though, Natalie, and I do like that Jazzinc has provided multiple options. There are 5 choices. It's a lot of SKUs, but at the same time, it's like, there's an option for everyone in there, which I do really appreciate that they've done that. But I think this is a great offering. Nonetheless, I think you have to be cautious. Let's just say that. I think we live in a different time than when InArt announced the Joker. We all just got so excited because Hot Toys Artisan didn't exist, and we didn't have rooted hair figures in mass production like that. And then now you have InArt coming in, and they announced 2 Heath Ledger Jokers, which, Kiko, we were desperate for a Heath Ledger Joker. It had been, 10 years or something before the last one. And, everyone was desperate, and everyone was like, well, let's just roll the dice on InArt. And maybe people are desperate for this Catwoman too. That makes sense. But,
yeah. I think if you put your expectations right where they're supposed to be, you can't be disappointed. So expect the body to be a little either loose or stiff. Expect the head sculpt to come out a little softer than it is, and expect the suit to maybe give you some trouble. And if you are okay with all of those things, then you can't be disappointed when it gets here, because maybe it doesn't have any of it.
Well, Mario Collects dropped another super chat. Thanks so much, bro. Another stream, another day without InArt Game of Thrones. It's true, dude. It's true. Honestly, where's Jon Snow? Where's Daenerys? We need those characters. Those would be absolute dopos for me. I need those characters in my collection. So I'm with you, dude. Trust me, preaching to the choir on that one. And maybe we'll even get Kiko to come back for InArt Game of Thrones. We'll see. Probably not though. X-Men Supreme, $5 super chat. Thanks so much. The big sell for me, Jazzinc over a potential Hot Toys, is the seamless body. No weird joint gaps under the suit. I'm in based on that alone. That's fair. The seamless body is important. Jazzinc has really tried hard to make this a quality offering. So I think that's very appreciated and recognized. Natalie,
under the suit is seamless?
Apparently so,
That's an interesting choice.
Yeah. I guess to make it better articulation.
It's probably so skin tight that you would have seen the ball joints. Yeah,
probably. Maybe that's. But again, so I appreciate the effort that Jazzinc is going to make something the best they can.
Deserves a round of applause for Jazzinc.
Well, they get an applause. We got another couple super chats here, then we'll move on to the next topic. Dirk Diggler, stunt double. Thanks. Always a tongue twister of a username here. I'm interested in this figure, but we are seeing artist sample and not a sample from the factory he is using. That's kind of concerning for me. Yeah. Dirk, I think a lot of prototypes probably are that way, though. I don't know from experience, but I can say that would be my speculation. I think there's probably a lot of prototypes that are like InArt Viper made it, right? He's, and they're showing the prototype, and they're just hoping that they can, reach that in production. So, but thanks so much for super chat. But yeah, it is a little concerning, but I'm giving Jazz the benefit of the doubt. X-Men Supreme, thanks so much. Also, I'm down to support Jazz because I want them to make the 66 Catwoman and Batgirl. I want the stuff other people are sleeping on investment. Oh, yeah, that's fair. If you want to invest in the company to see what they're going to make in the future that you would want in your collection, that's fair. But thanks so much, bro. I appreciate the super chat. But maybe they will make the 66 Catwoman and, those other type of characters out there. Kiko, it's time for you to face the music a little bit, because Venom appears to be Kiko's kryptonite. Because Kiko has made, I think, several bold predictions on this show. J&D money laundering. And now, of course, we have 2 different Venom predictions. So you're 1 for 3. Honestly, you did say the N1 wasn't getting put up, and you were right about that one. So there's been many times where Kiko is very rarely wrong. But I will say, comic book Venom has been announced by Hot Toys. And Kiko was the first person I thought of when this went up. I think Kiko was the first person many people thought of when this went up. He probably got innumerable messages because a lot of people said, oh, Kiko, what do you think about this? But we have a Venom Kiko, a comic book Venom. I think from my memory, retailing for about $400. And of course, this competes with the Tom Hardy Venom and the Spider-Man 2 Venom, which I'll show you a graphic of in a sec. But Kiko, is this definitive Venom? Because it has a spider logo. It has cool looking teeth. It has a cool head sculpt. What are your thoughts on this? Because we got 3 good ones. What do you think?
As you said, whenever I say something and then the opposite happens, when I open up my phone in the morning and I see that little red dot with all the notifications, I was like, oh, fuck, something happened.
Yeah.
Because no one engages with me when it comes down to like, oh, great photo, great video. It's only when I'm wrong is when people like want to engage with me. So appreciate y'all. So as you said, I was adamant that they weren't going to make the Spider-Man 2 Venom. That was one of my first big misses. I was like, no way, too big. They are not going to do that. And so not only did they make it, but they're like, I told you it's big. We're going straight down to actual scale. We got 21 inches of Venom, which is absurd, but I pre-ordered it. I don't care because it looked really good. It was the first version of Venom that was the closest to the Venom that we know, as someone who's got a giant 4-foot Venom statue right here. Like, I get it. All right. We were saddled with the Venom movies and people were like, okay, this is what we're getting. Enjoy it. We're never getting anything more than that. And then the Spider-Man 2 came out and then this showed up at the, what was that at? Wonderfest.
Wonderfest. Yeah.
Wonderfest. And because it's the Tom Hardy body, which it is, I'm like, this is just another craft project. They're just, feeling it out. I don't think this is going to actually happen. And what do you know? Boom. Here it is. Let's talk about a couple of the big things. That base is fucking fire. I love that thing. Very, very intrigued. And so I guess my big question is, and what everyone's asking, and as the Ben Thomas would say, this or that. Why not both? So that's kind of where I'm at. But I was talking with Justin, aka they call me Solo on Instagram from ICCC. Anyway, he said, I think I'm going to cancel the PS2 Spider-Man. Or I'm sorry, the Spider-Man 2 Venom. Yeah. I think I'm about to cancel this because this comic one is so much better. And I said, I kind of feel that, but I don't know because I didn't like what I saw at Wonderfest. Will. That's why I said it looked half-ass, but when you put it in these nice lighting and everything to make it look so sexy and sleek, it is the superior spider symbol for sure. Better than, the Max Gargan look that they have in the Spider-Man 2 game version. I am not 100% sold on the sculpt yet, but it's growing on me. I've not pre-ordered this yet. I'm thinking through it because if it comes to the fact that it goes past the release window for that Insomniac Spider-Man and I can get my NRD back, I think I might cancel it, honestly, and go with this one because it's just so big. And this is what everyone wanted. It's your comic accurate Venom with a little bit of a modern realistic twist. So this is the first time I've ever said this, Will. This might be the definitive Venom.
Wow.
It might be. Okay. It might be.
You've grown. You deserve a round of applause.
Thanks. Yeah. It might be. It might not be. There may be something crazy from Venom 3 that we find out at the Last Dance that really say, oh, change it all up.
Yeah.
But we all know there's great things that come down the pipeline. So don't get too set on this. But damn, that is the Lethal Protector right there. That looks so good. That picture right there.
Oh, this one with the
that literally jumps right off the comic book page. And
dude, it's super cool. I mean, Kiko, you know what I looked at? I think it was yesterday. I looked at the Spider-Man 2 Venom, and I was looking at it. I don't like the teeth head sculpt on that one because he's like smiling, like, you know what I mean? Like his mouth is open.
Yeah,
I don't like that one as much. I like when the teeth, like he's smiling, but his teeth are together and closed.
Grimace.
Yeah, exactly. But this one. This one is probably the better figure.
I mean, it's got the iconic, what do you want to call these? What is this part of your hand called? It's not your forearm. It's your
palm.
Hand. No, it's the back of your hand. The white the dots on the back of his hand. They're there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, the palm's on the other side. What am I thinking?
What is this thing called? The top of your hand, right? I guess
it's back palm. Yeah, because it's the other side of your hand. So.
Well, I guess it is the back of your hand. It's like, I'm going to hit you over the head with the back of my hand. I guess.
Yeah, like you bitch slap someone with it.
Yeah, at the back of your hand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you pimp slap them. That's what you do. Yeah. But Natalie, so what do you think about this definitive Venom? Because Kiko has grown a lot on this show. What are your thoughts?
I think he's probably right.
Wow.
The middle one. So the first time that you brought up this topic to me, I thought this Venom was the same body as the middle Venom, the Spider-Man 2 Venom. And I thought it was stupid, right? I was like, why would you do that? It's already so similar to this one. It's, what's the point? It's already too big. But then once I realized it was the other Venom's body, it basically gave you what everybody wanted from the beginning. Everyone was saying, well, I'm not ordering this Venom. So this is the 4th time we're getting a Venom. You had the first release, then you had the re-release of the first one, then you've got the Spider-Man 2 version, and now you've got this Venom coming. What are they going to do when Venom 3 comes out in a month? Like they're not going to release anything from there and watch something really cool happen, and then there's like a 5th Venom release. So for now, I'm going to say yes, it is the definitive, but I guess we'll have to see what happens in the 3rd movie, because that's what Hot Toys does. They wait until you're knee deep in your pre-order, you made 4 payments, and then they release another one. So that's probably what's going to happen. I think they did a great job with the teeth, the mouth. The teeth are longer and even more menacing than the first one, which you didn't really think was possible, because if you've ever had the first one, they're like slimy looking and wet looking, and the teeth on this one look even better. I didn't even think that was possible. I like the eyes better. They're more black versus white, stark contrast. I think that's where it becomes definitive, because he's probably the most like beloved anti-hero, and I'm probably gonna get tweet out for saying this, but I think he's the most beloved anti-hero in Marvel that I can think of, outside of Thanos. People love Thanos, right? Because I don't even think he was an anti-hero. I think he was just a villain who had good reasoning.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
So you got your comic book version that you can put right next to your MCU, and I think it would fit in just fine. That base makes it look like a statue almost. So I think you're getting a little bit of best of all worlds here with this one. So I too will take back my original statements and saying that it's stupid. Why would you do this? I think it's a good one. I think you're gonna like it. The only thing is, will it have? It should. It looks like it does. Will it have the magnetic neck that lets you put on a Tom Hardy if you so choose to blend your universes? Because then you certainly have the definitive. Because all you gotta do is put a head sculpt on there.
Yeah, that would be cool. I bet it does.
I would assume so.
Hot Toys, though, Kiko lately has been doing some wild shit with those new neck connectors. Maybe they'll do that with this Venom, and they'll throw.
Oh, everyone would take their high praise, and that would be the end of it.
Because like with Bane, for example, he has it. Tom Holland has it. The new one, Red and Blue.
There's no eyes for this one, so there's no need for it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. But Hot Toys is known to do some wild stuff, so we really don't know. But that would be cool. Natalie's got a good idea there. But yeah, Venom, honestly, yeah, I'm with you guys. I think he's one of the most beloved characters in Marvel, period, let alone anti-heroes. But Natalie's onto something with the anti-hero thing. Venom's beloved. And, but they could very easily in this 3rd film say it's the last Venom, give him the spider logo. Like, they could very easily do that. Yeah.
That's absolutely better happen. And then he becomes instant Grail right away.
Right. Exactly. So
plus it goes perfectly with Carnage. If you were to get the big one, the Spider-Man 2, you're going to have a hard time pairing those two. And everybody loves the Carnage figure. It's figure of the year for so many people that it's going to be weird to have Carnage being smaller than your Venom. You'll have to separate them entirely.
Carnage is incredible for sure. Kiko and I know, that figure is absolutely incredible. We got a super chat, X-Men Supreme, $5. Thanks so much, bro. That's the only problem I have with the She-Hulk figure, the gaps under the suit. That was in reference to the Jazzinc Catwoman. But yeah, She-Hulk was a pretty good figure, actually. Not a great show, in my opinion, but very good figure nonetheless. So, but Hot Toys is doing some really cool stuff with seamless bodies, like with Bane. I've been going crazy about that Bane. He's actually right back there. You can't see him, but he's right behind Joker and Two-Face. The figure's incredible, Kiko. You're gonna love it. Now, did you get Bane?
No.
Oh my God.
No, I wouldn't. I don't have any Batman. I don't have any except Joker that's coming but that's Joaquin Joker. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we got another super chat from X-Men Supreme. 3 figures. Wait, hold on. What is it? 3 figures, 1 trash can, 2 look cool, 1 actual Venom. Oh, okay. So 1 is trash, 2 look cool, and 1's actually Venom. Okay. I think I got it. So 2. Okay. Either way, it's a good super chat, but it's definitely confusing me. X-Men Supreme. I think I got it though. But I'm with you mostly. I think I really like the Tom Hardy Venom. That's the one I have because, like Natalie said, it goes with Carnage very well. But Kiko, I'm kind of thinking the 21 inches of Venom might be too much. Like, I think it's too much. I think that one's going to get canceled a lot.
if it gets delayed and that NRD can be taken away, that would sell me 100%.
But then what if the figure comes out and it's just like insane? Like it's,
usually those big figures you can get pretty cheap though, honestly.
Yeah, even Carnage, he's been real cheap.
I know.
Yeah, Carnage is real cheap. But we'll see. No movie will ever produce a definitive Venom. Maybe not. Maybe the comic book Venom is the definitive Venom. Thanks so much, X-Men Supreme. Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for the super chat. But maybe so. Maybe comic book is the way to go for Venom specifically. Let's talk about our.
They're gonna come out with Into the Spider-Verse Part 3.
Oh my God, and Venom's in it.
With Venom in it, and then I'm gonna come back for you, X-Men.
That could be a reality.
What did you say to me on October 18th of 2024?
Yeah, that could be a reality. You could be on to something, Natalie. You're on something. You're on fire today. But we have another topic I think that's pretty interesting. Galen Erso. We got an announcement from Hot Toys that it's Star Wars Celebration in Japan coming up in 2025, that there's going to be a Hot Toys Galen Erso figure from Rogue One that's going to be available for purchase at the event. It's not clear because someone messaged me about this. The language is unclear as to whether it will be available to be purchased outside of the event. It sounds to me like they're saying it's not. Like that's the way I'm interpreting the message, saying it will only be available at this event. Like it's an event exclusive. But other people are interpreting differently, and Hot Toys didn't really clarify that. So we don't really know. As of now, I think it's exclusive. That's kind of the way I'm labeling it. If it is exclusive to the event, say, Kiko, we're operating under that assumption, that pretense, right? That this is going to be an exclusive Galen Erso figure at Star Wars Celebration. Do we like this strategy? What are your thoughts on that?
So I don't know where people are thinking that it's exclusive to that. I mean, for one, it says worldwide exclusive. I know you can just go through and read semantics all day long. It says worldwide exclusive. Why wouldn't they put celebration exclusive?
Sure.
If that be the thing. Even if it was, because it's in Japan, like Japanese exclusive. I don't know. The worldwide is the thing that is the big trigger for me, saying, okay, this will be shown there for sure, and maybe on display or whatever it may be. Because that's what Celebration is that they have all kinds of cool stuff at the sideshow booth, and I guess Hot Toys will be there, whatever you want to call it. So let's say it is exclusive to Celebration. Is this a good strategy? Probably, because let's just say for example, it was a major named character. Granted, Galen Erso from Rogue One is pretty cool. I mean, especially if you're going to put him next to Thrawn, you got the brothers together. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone is saying, damn, you know what I'm missing from my Rogue One self is Galen. No, most people are saying Baze is who they're missing. Cassian is who they're missing. So Galen Erso is very, very strange. I'm sure it'll probably tie into the fact of Andor Season 2. I'm sure that may have something to do with it. And maybe that's the way it's branded. Maybe it'll be Andor Season 2 because it doesn't say Rogue One or anything like it. The whole thing's weird. Well, there it is in the corner.
Yeah, Rogue One there. It's just very tiny, right. But it's there.
But what is it? Is it his Imperial officer uniform when it shows the flashback with Krennic? Is it his farming outfit where Krennic comes to visit him? Is it his Death Star tech outfit in the rain? I don't know. I think it'll be cool. But the strategy is, do I want it? Of course I do. Man, I really do want that. But it's not like it's character specific enough to where I don't think too many people will freak out. That exclusive term is going to freak some people out, but people usually get tired of that when they miss it. Then they realize it's not coming for another 18 months and they forget about it. Just like a whiny kid, you whine, you can play, you cry it out, and then you wake up and you're happy the next morning. So depending on how this goes, there may be a lot of whiny, crying little bitches, but they'll wake up and it'll be okay the next morning. So
yeah. That could be fair. We'll say it does say,
still to find out.
You are right. It does say worldwide exclusive. So it could be something that maybe they offer for pre-order later through an exclusive sideshow queue or whatever the case may be. But you're right. Galen Erso, I think it's because from what I read, I think Maz is going to be there. So I think it's something related to that. Like he's going to be at the Japan event. So I think maybe it's in something in relation to that, maybe a coordinated effort in that way. But for me, like I don't mind the strategy because I think, like you said, Kiko, this is not Baze or it's not, Cassian Andor, or I figure that people are really dying to have another Death Trooper specialist reissue, right? It's not that. It's Galen Erso, which is like cool. Like, is he integral to your Star Wars collection? Maybe if you're just a huge Rogue One fan and you need Galen, but I think this is Wenwu in suit. You know what I mean? That's what this is, Kiko. So I kind of like the strategy if that were the case, but hopefully it's available for people as well outside of the event. But Natalie, what are your thoughts on this Galen Erso exclusive?
So I'm going to go back to 2023.
Okay.
I remember watching streams of all of these collectors that said, Hot Toys, you never give us side characters. You don't ever let us complete lines. You don't give us other things to pair with our main characters, just a bunch of main characters. And everybody said, well, people don't really buy side characters as much. Like, no one's buying the side characters as much. And everyone would say, well, then, be smart about it. Find ways, creative strategies so that we can get them for the niche collectors. Like, even if you just make it limited so that it's not like, get people to buy it. And if it's a niche collector and it's what they want, then they'll have the opportunity to get it. But come on, Hot Toys, expand out. Here they go doing exactly that. And everyone's like, nobody freaking asked for this guy. Who is this guy? Get out of here, Hot Toys. What are you doing? It's like, guys, what the hell? Like, make up your mind. So what? You don't want it. That doesn't mean there's not like 8 people, 10 people, 15 people in that same chat where you're blasting how bad it is, that now they're like, oh, well, I really wanted it. And then watch, they're going to come out with like other Rogue One characters that later on or something, and then the value of this is going to spike up because it was a limited edition exclusive side character that partners so well with the other. Like, I feel like we got to make up our mind. Either we want Hot Toys to branch out, give us some new diversity, stop giving us 25 Captain Americas, but then when they do it, we start yelling at them because it's not a Captain America. Like, make up your mind. That's my only thing. I don't want it. I don't think anyone here wants it. Maybe one person in the chat wants it. But even if they only make 25 of them, then some 25 lucky people out there are going to have the most exclusive, rare, whatever figure that exists. And I'm glad they're making it exclusive instead of a wide release because they're smart. They know nobody is going to want to buy a wide release. And so they're helping Sideshow and Comic Concepts and all these people that have to pre-order before they even know our numbers. They take the risk. They're like, all right, I guess I'm going to have to order 100 of these or 500 of these. So they order all of these and then nobody buys them and then it's dead stock. So by doing this limited edition one, you're helping out your vendor partners. So I like that it's limited. Not a lot of people are going to buy it. Give people variety. Like Kiko used to say, I used to watch collection tours because people had things that I don't have. Every collection tour has all the same stuff now. So I'm happy this is being made, and I look forward to seeing it on somebody's shelf.
That's a mic drop right there, Natalie. That was a mic drop. Absolutely. That's cool. I am too. Yeah, I'm excited to see it on people's shelf. I think it's a good strategy for this character and this type of figure. Again, it's Wenwu and Suit. Like, I'm glad they're making that. It's not for everyone. Make it exclusive. Mm-hmm. Great. Like, it doesn't need to be a wide release for this character. This is not. Right. They didn't even think Baze was worthy of a wide release. Why would they go ahead and make Galen Erso? I mean, a wide release. It's not really logical. So I would say that Galen Erso is great to be exclusive. So I hope it's a worldwide thing where, there's other, ways of obtaining the figure, but only time will tell. Only time will tell.
They have no other options right now. There's no other movies being made. Everything is on hold. So they're releasing things like Alien and re-releasing,
Terminator.
Characters that they haven't made in so long. So I think for the folks that are like, well, they waited 10 years to release this. They did. But guess what? There's nothing else to make right now. So at least they're giving something. So
it's going to be super crazy though, Natalie and Kiko, when Marvel starts gearing up and hitting their stride again, hopefully. And then James Gunn DC starts delivering. And when that happens, we're going to have a lot of great offerings, I'm hoping, that are going to have a lot of good, figures coming from Hot Toys. So we're going to see. We got a super chat from X-Men Supreme, $2. Thanks so much, bro. He said, hashtag justice for Wong. Justice for Wong, indeed. I feel like Wong might get made at some point.
I did go third party for that one, though.
Is it good? Is it a good Wong? I don't remember seeing it.
It's not bad. He's right there.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it in your collection. Okay, yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, it gets the job done. And you have the ancient one too, I can see, because you got to have the hood up on that one, because if the head sculpt's not good, then you're just like, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Hood up. Yeah. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for your thoughts on that one. Let's move on to our next topic. It's Baylan Skoll. Baylan Skoll is important. We need to talk about this because the Ahsoka line, Kiko, if you remember, people talked very fondly about the Ahsoka line, about how it was going to be one of the best lines of all time in terms of the character offerings and the quality of the head sculpts. Well, now we have a release here from the Ahsoka line, Baylan Skoll, which is a huge release for this line, and of course for Hot Toys in general, because a lot of people didn't think Baylan or Shin would actually get made. And then they got announced the same morning. This is an early release. It wasn't even set to come out yet, but here he is. Kiko, does this release disappoint or deliver? Because for me, looking at the prototype, which I never thought was perfect anyway, but then looking at the final product, I'm looking at the blogger pics. I'm a little disappointed though. I'm jumping to conclusions, but what are your thoughts on this?
Do you have the picture of the one I sent you pulled up with the hood and the lighting?
Where'd you send it? Did you send it to me over text?
Yeah, I sent it to you through your Instagram story when you said,
I can try to pull it up. Yeah.
So they, as you've said, the blogging photos. Yeah, I don't see a thing wrong with that one. I think that looks exceptional. I know you said the mouth or the lips or something bother you. See, going back to what you said about the all-time great line in the Ahsoka line is they stumbled out of the gate with Thrawn because although he looks great from the neck down, from the neck up, the tailoring is something to be desired still. I think most people would agree that it's not the best tailoring.
Yeah.
Not bad, but not the best. Now this from the neck down looks incredible, but you say the sculpt is not there. I think it is. Granted, in hand, I'm sure it may be a little bit different, but they're really washing out and not doing any favors to the sculpts of these pieces in these blogger photos. They're meant to have shadow. They're meant to not just be completely blown up with crazy lighting on it. You have to get the right. Same thing with us, human beings. We all have good sides, good angles. If you know the classic, the old people that do the Facebook photo where it's like this, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Everyone's got good angles and bad angles. So you got to find the right ones. And I think this is a very good figure. I'm excited to have it. I'm surprised that they did such a quick turnaround. Maybe it's not many units. That's the only thing I can think of. Maybe that one doesn't look great at all. Oof.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah,
that's like Santa Claus, Tim Allen's Santa Claus.
Right.
Ugh, I don't like that one. But you see what I'm saying? Just like the contrast between one photo and another one. So you can't make that decision until it's in hand.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's fair.
But tailoring looks great, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is opposite of Thrawn. This is Thrawn, in reverse. So I think the tailoring looks great. The outfit looks great. Lightsaber, all of it looks great. But when I look at the head sculpt, I do see Baylan, but I wish I saw Baylan more. Natalie, what are your thoughts on this one?
I think it looks the same. I don't really see the big difference. I'm sure that if you take a microscope up to it or magnifying glass, you're going to see a bunch of differences, but I really don't see much that's different from the original photos. But again, I could be wrong. Like looking at his beard, I don't know what you don't like about the mouth other than you hate mustaches. I've come to realize that you are not a mustache on a hot toy kind of guy.
I have one. I
mean, on like Obi-Wan, you're like, his mouth is missing. Yeah, he's got a mustache covering.
That's different. But
I think he looks good. I think they did a good job with him. I think the tailoring, for me, he almost looks like Game of Thrones. But that's his outfit, right? He outside of the lightsaber, right? If you just pass by on the shelf, it's like, oh, that's it. Nope, that's Star Wars. It looks like a Game of Thrones character. You have to keep the hood on him, I think. Maybe not. I don't know.
It would be nice.
He looks more like himself when he's not wearing the hood, but that looks really good. That looks really good. I think it has something to do with like the shoulder to neck ratio. Like if you put like that looks great. What's wrong with it? The sculpting in the face, he didn't get softened. Like that was a big concern whether or not he would. I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't think it's disappointing at all.
Well, X-Men Supreme said Baylan claws. I love Baylan claws. Yeah, honestly, but yeah, I mean, that's fair, Natalie. I think I never thought the prototype head sculpt was that great to begin with. And I was hoping maybe, again, another disappointment, Kiko, where I was like, they're going to update this. They're going to make it better. And then we always disappoint ourselves with that. So Shin was already good. I thought Shin was already good head sculpt. So as long as they deliver something close to that.
I think that's the weaker of the two.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I think yeah, I don't know. I guess beauty is an eye beholder, right? Isn't that what they say? So, I think it's still. I think it's
talking about the quick turnaround time. It's almost like everyone, if they find one flaw, let's focus on that. Hot Toys said we're going to focus on producing figures and getting them out faster to you. And I mean, they produced the Joker Artisan figure in mere months. Deadpool started arriving people's doorsteps in mere months. This shows up 6 months early. Oh my gosh. And what do? His head sculpt doesn't look right. Come on. It's like we gotta start showing a little bit of gratitude, a little bit of thanks.
You tell him that. I'm tired of Will's negativity.
Yeah, honestly, I'm the most negative panelist here. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, that's my title. We know.
Yeah, that's true. Kiko's probably that way. But I would say I'm happy they did. Like, for example, if McDonald's, or I never do this, but if I ordered like Grubhub and they delivered food to my house, if they delivered it, but it wasn't the right thing that I ordered, they might have delivered it 10 minutes early, but it's still not right. Like, I'm not going to be appreciative of it.
But it's a Baylan Skoll figure. It's not like you ordered chicken tenders and got a quarter pounder.
But I mean, like, I'm saying that I think it doesn't really look like him. So if I feel like I ordered a 1/6 Baylan Skoll and I got that, then I'm like, I mean.
But if you got your food early and it was wrong, and you said, well, I'd rather not get it early then and make sure it's right, then that'd be different. But they've always been this way. It's not like they've ever not, they've never been different, and they're producing worse quality. If anything, their quality is getting
facts over here.
She is.
Yeah,
Dude. Now there's a round of applause.
Better. It's just there's something off with it that you don't quite fancy. Doesn't tickle your titties. I don't know. But
everyone wants their titties.
I think it looks good.
I mean, it is a nice feeling. So, but anyway, X-Men Supreme, super chat. Thanks so much, bro. Shin isn't a perfect figure so far, but the character has enough. I can fix her energy to make up for that. Kiko's the one to introduce me to that whole trend, that whole TikTok phenomenon about I can fix her. So, thanks so much, X-Men Supreme. Appreciate you, bro. But yeah,
have you
guys,
seen the latest I can fix her?
No, who is it now?
Sophia Falcone. That is the new one.
Oh, the from Penguin. Yeah, the one.
I have seen so many I can fix hers for that one. It is hilarious.
From How I Met Your Mother. What's her name? Yeah, I heard her performance was incredible in the show.
Honestly, that episode, I know we're getting sidetracked. That may be one of the top episodes of all of TV. It was that good.
It was that good. Yeah, everyone's been raving about it, dude. It's
what, like, if she doesn't win something for that performance alone in that episode alone, something is terribly wrong. So good for her. She'll never have to work again. She'll never be without a job ever again. I'm
upset that they didn't even use her in How I Met Your Mother, because that show, what they did at the end of it is a travesty. So I'll say that if anyone watched that show, it's terrible.
Did you hear the story about the last thing I'll see is that she was talking, I guess, to Jimmy Kimmel or somebody, and they said, hey, when you got the casting to find out you're going to be in it, because she's a huge nerd, which I love. I love when actors and actresses turn and get to work in the franchises they're really passionate about. And she's done this huge diatribe about the Batman universe and all that. So she's into it. She's into it.
Yeah.
And so she obviously auditioned for it. And then she's like, I'm going to go on a trip by myself to go sit on a glacier, just to kind of find myself and blah, blah, blah. And so she got the call on the way to her glacier to be by herself to say that she was going to be it. And she couldn't be more happy. She's like, don't worry, I wasn't going to sit there and die on the glacier, but I don't have to worry about that anymore. So good for her.
Cool.
I'm very excited.
Hey, it's a good story, dude. Yeah. It's a good story. But guys, let's move on to our next topic, because we have a couple more here. And if I need to add more during the middle of the show, we'll do that. But we're going actually pretty quickly. I don't know how long we'll take for this one, but Hot Toys have released an Iron Man Mark VII suit up. And I think we have a big picture question that we can tackle here. And I think this is a good way to do it, because the Mark VII, Kiko, the Mark VII is goated to me. Like, the Mark VII is the best suit, in my opinion, from Iron Man. There are many others, Mark III, Mark 46, Mark 50, 85 battle damage, whatever. There's a ton of great suits out there. But the Mark VII, it's iconic. It's Avengers 1. It's when Iron Man fucked up Loki and then fucked up all the Chitauri in New York City. It's incredible. It's just an amazing. It looks great. It did a lot of great things. Love it. But now we have a suit up version. It's just actually released. And I'm wondering, Kiko, these suit ups, I don't think people even really give a fuck. And I'm wondering why that, like, even Mark V suit up, it looks cool. It's a pain in the ass to put together, but it looks cool. I just don't know if Hot Toys should continue to produce these, Kiko. And that's the angle I want to approach this question with. I don't think they're bad figures. I just don't know if people care. Because if you have to pick an Iron Man suit, are you going to get the regular Mark VII or are you going to get the suit up? You're probably getting the regular Mark VII. So unless you're a diehard and you need every Iron Man, does it even make sense? Kiko, where are we at here? Make this make sense for me.
I don't know if I can make it make sense for you, but when you're getting these, you're essentially buying a statue. Once you put it in the suit up pose, it's not articulating. There's nothing you can do with it. I mean, because the armor that you're putting on thus restricts him. And I got to say, this is the worst Tony Stark head sculpt they have ever put out. Very worse than Tony Stank. I'm sorry. I'll just say it. there's some photos of this that look absolutely menacing, and from the underbite or overbite or whatever to the terrible photos, like what the fuck is that? Like, when did this happen? To where he was, obviously I know this scene, but like falling through the smoke. I mean, what is happening here? Terrible photo. But it's this one, the Mark V, technically the Mark VI with gantry, the Mark IV suit up gantry type of thing. So we have 2 gantries. We have, I think, 3 or 4 suit ups at this point. I think you're right, man. But people still keep buying them. That's the thing.
I guess.
I guess so. But you know what you're getting? You're getting kind of movie moments, kind of like the old Pop line, the Pop movie moments where they do like the scenes with the Funko Pops. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what this is. I think is that some people just really like their scene specific pieces, and there you go. I have the Battle Damage Mark. I'm sorry, the Mark V suit up. I like that because I thought that moment on the racetrack with a suit that's different than all the other ones was cool enough for me to have, and I thought that was the best RDJ head sculpt, whatever. But I'm out on this, especially because I don't think there's any USB function for this one. At least that one, I don't know which one it was, but there was that one that lit up that had the blue opening back. I don't remember which one that was. Like a Silver Centurion opening up version, something like that. Terrible.
Mark V, I think.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that not for me, but they're going to keep selling them because people keep buying them.
Yeah, I guess so, dude. I guess they are. With the Mark V one, though, I know people were breaking things left and right. Does it look incredible? Yeah, it does. But usually it's not die-cast, not the end of the world, but you're paying a premium price for them, and they look great. But if I can have the regular one or this one, I'm usually going to go for the regular one. That's just me. Maybe other collectors are different. But Natalie, what are your thoughts? Should Hot Toys continue to make these suit-ups? Do you think they have the sales numbers? We don't. But just gauging community reaction and consensus, do you feel like these are catching on?
The one thing I like about these is that they give you, or the 2 things that I like about these, they give you an opportunity to see like the intricacies of the suit and how it like kind of comes together. So I think they're good for like that eye-catching piece. You can almost, especially if you're a big Mark VII fan, you could have your one that's already fully suited, and then you've got this one where it's like coming together. I can picture the 2 of them on almost like a rotating table. Obviously, there's not a lot of people who have that intricate of a detail display, but I could see where that artistic mindset was when they said this would be a great idea. People would really love this. Also, everyone who likes to have a Tony Stark head sculpt, we all, want that best version of him, but no one displays the sculpt on their Iron Man, right? Because to me, it's a little off-putting. It's like you've got the body and the sculpt don't always quite match. So this gives you the opportunity to display it while having him almost halfway in his suit. So it gives you the best of both worlds. I think, everybody who loves Mark VII either already has it or they don't have it, and this is their way of getting it. We have to remember not everyone is in the same phase of collecting as we are. So there are people who are just entering the game, and this really appeals to them because they get to see him suiting up. Like, what an exciting moment to buy. Like, if I just entered the ring and I see all these regular suited up versions, and then I see this stands out to me more than any of those other ones. And I might be leaning to it. So I think it's just a matter of preference and taste.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Is there anyone, Natalie, not to try to fight back against you, is there anyone that says they want a suit up version over an Iron Man, you think?
I was really looking for.
Really?
Honestly, okay, you see the big box behind me? I did it. Okay.
What'd you do?
I ended up getting it. So the Mark VI suit up gantry.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Right. I contemplated for a while. Do I cancel it? Do I not cancel it? I have so many Iron Man. But was it the Mark V or the Mark IV? The one that, I forget which one, at Mark II. The one that they just came out with recently, where he's standing there in the blue racing suit.
Oh,
that's the 5.
Yeah, that's the 5. Yeah, that's the 5. Yeah.
So I was so tempted to get that one, but I actually saw Kiko's video that made me not get it. See, here's influencers, right? They're not always helpful. So I actually
didn't like that one.
Well, I will say it was helpful because you did change my mind. I'm a set it and forget it for the most part, but every once in a while I do want to, change things up. So That one, I just know I would have destroyed the suit. The intricate little pieces, I know I would have broken something. So I ended up not doing it. But to this day, I look at that sculpt and I regret it a little bit. But then I say I wouldn't have displayed the sculpt anyway, maybe. Well, yes, I would have, because it would have been a suit up version. So I'm happy with the ones that I have. I'm going to keep the ones that I've got. But if I was Natalie, brand new to collecting, and I had all my shelves open, hell yeah, I would have it. 100%. Because I have all the space in the world right now. And it looks really cool to me. To me, not to everybody.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, guys, thank you for your thoughts on that one. We got a Mark VII suit up here. If you're interested in it, hey, go grab it. But I mean, it could be a nice display if you had all the suit ups. If you had all the suit ups and not the Iron Man figures themselves, I think that would be pretty cool. I think that would be.
I mean, why not have one suit up with the rest being regular Iron Man?
I mean, you could, but consistency's sake, I mean, I think it would look cool if you went all in one way or the other. You know,
you're capturing movie moments. How many figures do you have? I'm sorry, not even figures. How many statues do you have that you have because you're like, wow, that is a moment right there. Like you have your Balder and Atreus, right? And like that, or Balder and
Kratos.
And Kratos.
But it looks pretty good on that, right? It looks pretty good.
So that moment of them fighting, like you had to get the two pieces because it creates a moment. I think that suit up creates the moment in the movie, right? Like he was plummeting to his death. Mark VII saved his life. I don't know.
I mean, honestly, you're onto something. You're onto something, Natalie, for sure. I will say though, did you miss me that I didn't come to Florida? Were you upset?
Oh my God, we were. So Will messaged me and he's like, so what do you think? Like, what do you think? And like, I had this one moment in my mind where I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. Just come on down and we'll be fine. But at the same time, like, you can put this man through a hurricane, a Category 4 hurricane, just so that you can go hang out on like for a few days.
I know. And I was talking to Josh too, Comic Concepts, and he was like, yeah, I mean, and they canceled even before I did. So, you know, I was like,
it was for the best. Like, not even because I think you would have been in danger. It's just half of your trip would have been spent weathering the storm or having to be indoors because there was flooding in the area. So my vacation, the whole time I was there, I basically spent a day and a half prepping for the storm, day and a half weathering the storm. And then the next couple of days, like literally right after it passed, it was sunny and Florida again. But, you know, you still would have spent the first 3-4 days just kind of dealing with bad weather.
Yeah. Well, guys, we got one other piece of release news here, and it's actually the Night Trooper. So again, we're looking at the Ahsoka line once again. And again, this allows us to explore another big picture topic because I do think this one is pretty interesting, actually. It's pretty cool. It's definitely unique for a trooper, right? But it is another trooper. And at the end of the day, I think the question bears asking. Clearly, Hot Toys feel so because they're going to keep making them. They're probably ultra cheap to produce. People buy multiples, lots of money to be made by selling these, right? But I'm wondering, do the collectors in our community mostly, do they want more troopers like this, more unique troopers, or less, and have them focus more on maybe not giving us a trooper? It's not a 1-for-1, but maybe not giving us a trooper, but we get Revan, right? Or maybe we get Starkiller where we normally wouldn't have gotten that, but it's like we're getting all these troopers. So Kiko, not always a 1-for-1 trade, right? But there's another trooper here. It's pretty cool. It's unique. But to me, it's a trooper. So I'm not the biggest trooper guy. I love the Death Trooper. But a lot of the other ones, I'm just not as crazy about. What do you think? Do collectors want more troopers nowadays, or are we kind of troopered out?
Depends on what your collection looks like. I know there's some people that are nothing but troopers in there. They have giant Clone Wars assembled and 30, 40, 50 clones all in there. And more power to you. Is this one what somebody wanted? I don't know. Look at the exclusive Death Trooper that no one wanted and sat around for 24 hours. And no one broke down the walls to really get that one. At least that came with 2 head sculpts. This does not. And when you're dealing with something that has unique battle damaging and weathering, you need some variety. And this prohibits you from being a trooper builder because you can't have something with the exact same markings because that's not real and true.
Yeah.
Swap out arms, swap out shoulder thing. I mean, even the Death Watch Mandalorian came with swappable pieces, you know. I wish there was some variance. And I think the red really looks cool and will look great next to Thrawn and Baylan, whatever you want to do. But when you zoom in on the head, it doesn't look great. Like it's supposed to be, you know, the gold and kind of fused into that helmet. This just looks like he got pooped on by something.
Like you at the Reds game.
Yes, that literally looks like someone shat right on his face. It does not look like the gold Kensuke, or forgive me if I'm pronouncing that the wrong way. That art form, that was what they were drawing from, an inspiration. It just looks dirty, like he crawled out of a swamp. And it's going to be the exact same as you line up 15 of these, and there's no variance. And if people are going to get troopers, they want to army build them. You can't army build this unless you're going to customize it yourself. That's the big issue.
Right. That's fair. That's fair. Well, Natalie, what do you think? More or less troopers? Where are you at on this one?
More troopers, more
you
troopers.
Want more troopers?
More.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I think that troopers are the perfect accessory to a main character. And the fact that you have different types of troopers for each movie, for each franchise, for each villain, if you will, right? You've got, if I recall, you've got the 2 red guys. That is their official term. That is what they are named. Don't call me out for it. They are the 2 red guys, right? Don't you have 2 red guys next to your villain, next to Kylo Ren?
Oh, you're talking about the Praetorian Guards?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but they're different.
Incredible.
But they're different.
Yeah, they are different.
They're different from each other.
Yes, you have the heavy blade and then the double blade. Yeah.
Right. So, but those came in pairs. So you've got, let's see, you've got the black, I forget what it is, the Death Trooper, right? You've got one of the, so I think if you have a similar display to mine, where you try to go cubbies, right? And you want to create a scene, or you want to create that feeling of an inclusive movie. It's not just a one single character, right? Some of my favorite shelves that I have 2 characters on them. I'm in the way, but like my C-3PO and my R2-D2. Or I've got my Boba and Throne. And, while that's not a second character, it creates that scene for you. So maybe you do just get the 1 trooper and then you have it next to Thrawn, right? It's a background character, but it adds that sense of being part of a scene. I'm all about this, like recreating the scene or using poses that remind you of a scene. That's what the bases do, right? Everyone buys bases to help create the background noise. This, while it's background, some people might just buy it just for that look. It's a very unique look. Now that you said he looks like he'd been bird pooped on, I'm mad you brought that up, because now I'm like, yeah, they probably could have done a better job at that. Because they do have that. It's a Asian technique that they use to repair broken like cups, pottery, things like that, and they do with like gold powder in like a lacquer, and they piece together pottery and things. But it's supposed to highlight the imperfections as part of putting it back together, which I thought was such an amazing concept considering what these things are, right? If and to the chest pieces look really good. I think they did good on the chest pieces and at the cup area, but then they did this one part that kind of looks like it just was splattered on. So not great, but again, unless you're looking really, really close at it, it's not gonna be too noticeable.
Well, it's kind of to me like they put seaweed on him. Like he stepped in some wet seaweed or something. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it looks like to me. Like it's just on his helmet. So that's kind of what it looks like. But at the end of the day, look, it's another trooper. It's a unique one. I'm happy for people who are getting this one if they really want it. I think it's cool. But it's just not going to be for me at the end of the day. So
I agree with that. He said they should have made a couple different armor pieces. That would have been the way to go. I think every trooper they come out with should have some variable, like swap out chest, or like they do with the helmet sometimes. If you do that, you encourage the army builders to buy 2 pieces, which is always what they
even like the little pieces where you can put batteries in the helmet to light it up, just like pop the dome off, like have it like the Jango Fett. He comes with a normal one and then a dome one with got like a dent in it, just like a dent or a scratch or something to make a little bit of variable
or battle damage version. Like, why not?
Well, Bird Poop Boba's got nothing on the night trooper. So I think honestly that this new Bird Poop King. So, but guys, let's talk about something very important. You know what it is? It is InArt. We got to do this. We got to do this, Kiko, because every week there's got to be an InArt topic. There's got to be a JD topic, or both, honestly, if we really want to hit the jackpot. We need to talk about this, Kiko. We have a new strategy. Remember we mentioned this to InArt way back. I don't know if you were there for that live stream or not, but we've all said it a couple different times. We said, okay, if the problem with the delays is the rooting of the hair, then why not prioritize the sculpted to at least appease the people who bought the sculpted and say, if you bought the rooted, you're just going to have to wait longer, right? Well, now it seems that they've kind of taken that to heart, at least a little bit, because some of the sculpted figures are Harry Potter's fully out there, Aragorn is fully out there. Now the rooted versions are taking a little bit longer. So they are getting the sculpted versions out there first. So that is a little bit of a compromise, I feel, that they've done. That's really help appease people to get these out a little bit faster. Because the Aragorn did not really release with the VIP batch that long ago. So for the sculpted to come out, it's pretty good. 25% of premium, a little concerning on that one. But I will say, as far as the sculpted being 100%, again, this is just kit 2. We have no reliable data beyond this. We don't know what the other suppliers are getting. We don't know what the actual percentages are. We really know Kit's percentage and what he's posting. Nonetheless, that's what we're going off of. So we're going to that pretense, right? Kiko, 100% of the sculpted Aragorns are out there. Is this the correct strategy to release the sculpted first, which it seems like InArt's is doing, and then release the rooted after? What do you think?
It's not controversial at all to say, if you're sitting on product, ship the product. I don't think that's controversial at all. As far as strategy goes. I've never understood no one's getting it until everyone gets it, because that's not true. There's plenty of people getting things that other people aren't. So if you have something that's ready that someone's paid for, yes, send it. But like you said, this is Kit's data. Yeah. Not trying to conspiracy guy. Who's to say that 3 sculpteds were ordered for Kit and all the rest were premium? Great, he had 3 in, 100%. That don't mean nothing. That doesn't mean nothing. We do not know any idea how many actual standard pieces were ordered and shipped in. Because if it's a very small number, then maybe that's all that InArt gave him. So yeah, 100%. So I don't want to applaud everybody just yet, just because we don't know what those data points are, and no other reseller is saying that. But the real question is, I don't care about 50%, 100%, 25%. I want to know when InArt themselves are going to answer 100% of my questions. Because I know a lot of people are asking about that, Will, and not calling you out, but I would say, Will.
No, I've been asking too.
Yeah, and like I feel like I've been a little bit ghosted. Someone's like, "Are you doing the interview with Johnny?" Because we proposed it, and they said, "Let's do it in October after Wonderfest." Here we are, almost way past midway part of October, and there's still nothing. I'm still on red on some of the things that I sent to Johnny myself, asking something for an update. Come on now. That's what I want.
Yeah. And I did talk to him recently.
That's what the people deserve as well, because they got questions.
I did get him to reply to me recently because I double texted him and I was like, hey, like it was through, not through text message, but like an app. And I was like, hey, like, are we good? Like, what's going on? And then he said he's going to let me know, Kiko. I meant to tell you this. I think maybe he said Friday, and it's Friday now. So maybe he meant next Friday. But we should know hopefully soon with this interview, because I told him, I was like, people really have some serious questions they want to ask you. So this is really important. So hopefully it should be soon. He communicated with me. That's the plan. So I mean, that's all we can do. But and he answered some of my questions actually about the delays and stuff like that. Batman, he's probably going to answer that. There was like he told you, Kiko, there was a production issue with Batman, which caused the delays. So the other figures they are getting out, they feel those have been out and they're getting faster with those, but we'll see. The questions will be answered. Nonetheless, Kiko, I do like the strategy of getting the sculpted out there. Like you said, if you have the product, ship the product. If you can get that out there, appease people, okay. And if the rooted people, the rooted crowd, you have to wait a little bit longer because you bought the premium version, it just takes longer, right? You want sculpted, you want it faster, there's a compromise. I feel like that's pretty good. But, I'm interested to hear Natalie's thoughts. Natalie, what do you think about this? Is this a good strategy by InArt to try to get the sculpted out there, to get something into collectors' hands a little bit more quickly? What do you think?
So I don't know. It's no secret that they have production delay issues. We say Harry Potter Sculpted's fully released. It's not, right? Just because we go off Kit, that doesn't mean what they did, InArt did, is this strategy. This is just what Kit's strategy is. So who even knows if they've released all of the sculpted? Maybe Kit had a smaller sculpted amount of orders, and so that's why all 100% are out, and most of them are rooted orders. So I can't really say that that's their strategy. I think when we talk about their batches, I do agree that they should try to parallel park, right? When you get orders, run them in parallel, right? Don't focus on your rooted because it takes longer and then do your sculpted later. Start them at the same time, knowing that the the rooted is going to get delayed, but then at least some of it starts going out. And then it just ends up being where your sculpted comes out to people first. The batches are not even about, well, we want all people to get them or nobody gets them. The batches are about pricing. So it's going to cost me, I don't know, I'm going to make up a bunch of numbers right now, but it's going to cost me $85,000 to charter this giant ship across the sea and make sure it arrives, and the customs fees and the insurance in case it gets lost at sea. It's going to cost me all this money. So I'm going to make sure that boat is full, or my shipping containers that I bought are full. I want to get the most bang for my buck instead of me sending quarter filled containers and having to spend 85, again, fake numbers, right? 85,000 every time I'm doing a shipment. So they have batches because that's the most economical way for them to deliver the product instead of just, because they're not in the US. But everyone knows that anyway. So I don't have a problem with the batches, but be transparent about, hey, 25% are going to be shipped. Your shipping schedule. When you're going to be sending it out to the vendors. Even if that's a month-long journey, let people know our shipping schedule is as follows. Now, I'm sure they have concerns because of pirate issue. That's a real thing. I'm not even making a Jack Sparrow joke, right? But there's real pirates out there. So you don't really publish that sort of information, but at least give people a general timeline. Like, you guys should receive it before Christmas, right? We expect this number of inventory to go out. And I kind of went a little bit off on a tangent, but I don't really know if sculpted, because most people prefer the rooted. And if they get the sculpted, and I'm just saying that based on what we talk about, it always feels like more people want the rooted. A lot of people prefer sculpted. To be honest, I mean, I love that Harry Potter, but I kind of feel like I'm kind of feeling like I prefer sculpted myself, just because there's so much variation. You never quite know what you're going to get. Either way, if people start to see, oh, the sculpted comes out faster, well, now I want to start buying the sculpted one. And then they start losing revenue on the rooted ones. So they kind of shoot themselves if they tell people we're going to prioritize sculpted. I think they just need to parallel run and just be more transparent with shipping schedules. We're not going to bitch and moan as long as we know when they're coming, even if it is 8 months, 10 months, 12 months. Just tell us, and I think we'll stop complaining.
Yeah.
That's the better strategy.
Yeah. So you're just saying more open communication, but
I mean, tell us it's going to take 2.5 years, and I'm going to say, damn, that sucks, but I guess I'll wait. And if the shipping container and the shipping process, you are also a statue company. So maybe half your containers have figures and half of them have statues. Join forces with your other half of your company. That could help ship things out faster. You guys are producing statues faster than you're producing figures, which means you ship more of your statues, or you ship your statues more often. Throw some of those things on the boat, fill up the space, get these things out.
And maybe that is what they're doing. Who knows, right? Maybe they are. But I do like that the sculpted versions are going out there myself. I do like that the sculpted versions are being getting to collectors more quickly, and they have something to hold on to instead of saying, like, I'm never going to get my product. That's the last thing that, I want collectors to feel, is like they feel like they're just not going to get anything. So that, like I said, I don't want people to feel frustrated with collecting. So I think it's,
right. We're all adults. Like we're not, if they just tell us why, we will stop asking. Right. It's like when you have a child and it's like, oh, I want to buy this. Why? No. Why? Because then they're just like, well, why? Because, like, we are adults, and if you don't tell us why, we're not going to say, well, why?
Natalie. I don't know if a lot of the kids in the chat will agree with you on that.
I'm saying, as adults, we'll continue to probe and ask questions, right? Or we will take our business elsewhere, right? We're not going to stay forever going, well, why? Eventually, the people like Kiko say, well, then fine, I won't order with you then, right? So it's like they have to, don't just give us the because. We're not children that will just accept a because. Eventually, we're going, if it's that important to you, you're going to find a different avenue to invest in collecting.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, we got some super chats. We got one from Derator 199. Thanks so much, bro. Bummer Superman is sculpted, but he's in low supply. Yeah, dude, Superman is great, though. I will say, like, I think the people who bought that figure are really going to like it. He started shipping out, I know. He shipped out at least a decent amount of them from what I saw. So, yeah, Superman's great. He's in low supply, I think, but it was a pretty reasonable price. There was no reason to do rooted for that one, so it ended up working out. So I will say the sculpted for that one is fantastic, and I think that one's going to come out pretty quickly in terms of 100% release. I think that's going to be pretty fast. But thanks so much, there. Appreciate you, bro. Clayton Stitt, thanks so much, dude. In our Batman sculpt, there's only 10% shipped, apparently. I feel like it's more than that, but maybe not. I haven't checked recently, but I did see that Kit said the Batmans are all going to ship by the end of November. So that's great. That's good news. And like I said, I did share that. Kit said he heard that directly from InArt. So InArt said they're all going to ship by the end of November. So that's really great. And I'm glad people are gonna get those, which Hazard Blue did put in the chat. So thanks so much, Hazard. But I did see that as well. But yeah, thank you guys for your thoughts on that topic. Let's move on to our next one. We got one more topic here, I think, to adjust, and then maybe one special one if we have time, which I sent to Kiko. So it'd be interesting. We visited this topic a little bit, but I do think it's worthy of a discussion. It's worthy of a 2.0. It's worthy of revisitation, because I do think that the Artisan line, Kiko, and I'm actually planning a video on this as well. You and I both are going to do something on this. I wrote one up. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it is in the works at some point. But I have some others I want to do too. The Artisan line, Kiko. I updated the graphic, so I got all the Artisan figures on this graphic now. And my question being, Kiko, which one do you think is going to outperform the expectation and really wow people and say, like, damn, I can't believe I passed on that one? And which one do you think is going to disappoint collectors, most likely anyway, to disappoint, where you're going to be like, man, I wish I kind of didn't buy this? What are your thoughts on that?
Are we talking about figures specifically? Because I think a lot of people are probably pissed about the Joaquin Joker.
Yeah, well, you could the whole total package. You could do everything.
Because I don't think it's any surprise that Joker 2 is not well received. Mm-hmm. I thought Joker 1 was a masterpiece and was a great cultural phenomenon. Yeah. And apparently the director said that he doesn't care about that and decided to make something despite the fans, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous. And they've lost a lot of goodwill there. So going back to DC, though, I still believe that Dr. Harleen Quinzel will outperform expectations. Because she, like Anakin, is the only one on here without a sculpted option. And this is by far the most comic accurate Harley that we have and will have, whether you liked that version of the movie or not, or whatever. The black and red suit is Harley Quinn. I love my, Suicide Squad Harley as well, in the nylons and all that stuff. She looks incredible. Love that. But this is the one I hope, is going to really be a shelf stealer. I hope, as I said. They got to clean some things up for sure on the sculpt and the makeup, and we'll see. I'm not even going to say that the Luke's going to disappoint. I think most people are assuming the Luke's going to disappoint. I wish I wouldn't. I was drunk on the cruise when I pre-ordered that one, and I wish I wouldn't. If it goes past the release date, I'm 100% sure. I'm 100% going to cancel and get my NRD back on that one. But I think the other one that may disappoint, I'm just looking at them all right now.
Are you going to say Anakin?
No, I've already said that one.
Okay.
I still am concerned about Iron Spider, honestly. It's just because when you think Artisan, you think about a bunch of really cool posing opportunities. I'm not sure that that's still going to be you're spending literally $425 for an incredible sculpt. Not going to negate that. But you're going to have to, for the people out there that are terrified of like creases, you're going to have to museum pose that thing. Otherwise, you're going to be, I can't believe I paid $500 for this and it's creasing. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people upset about that. And maybe they don't understand how spider people work. But, got to let that stuff go. Buy a statue then if you're afraid to pose your figures. But if you're not going to pose an Artisan figure, I think you do not need to be buying one, honestly. If you're not going to take full advantage of the sculpt, the tailoring, and the ability to make a true masterpiece of a 1/6 collectible. And if you're just going to the guy, don't do that. Don't do that. Cancel, don't buy it, and know what you're getting into. So I think a lot of people still are going to be like, I can't believe this is what I have. And it's going to be the Tom because people don't want to see the creases.
Yeah. The only thing I've been careful with so far, Kiko, is, and I think the body will hold up, but Bane, I really like the arms outpost. For one, it takes up more room. And two, I'm worried about putting that long-term on them, because like if you're putting stress on the shoulders or the arms or whatever, I'm like, I would like to do that pose, but at the end of the day, more space, more concern, But if I had to answer this question before Natalie goes, I honestly feel like the one that's going to outperform expectations is Joker, because I think a lot.
We're going with your typical Loki answer.
No, I mean Loki. Well, Loki's already, the bar is sky high, so he's just going to meet that. But with Joker, it's like I think guys, a lot of people are sleeping on the Artisan Hot Toys Joker. They're saying like, oh, I got InArt, I'm fine, which InArt's a good figure nonetheless. But maybe even people are saying J&D. Who knows? Not many, but there's some out there. And money laundering scheme. And then now the Hot Toys Artisan Joker comes around, and I think people said, oh, I'm going to pass on this one. It might be really good. It might be really good. And it's one figure instead of two, but disappointment. Kiko, I think the most likely, what could be disappointing? Black Widow. Because if the hair comes, that one is the one you can fuck up the hair on the most, maybe besides Anakin. If you fuck up the hair or Wanda's hair, if it looks too doll-like, either one of those two, I think could be disappointing. I don't think they will, but if I'm saying most likely, I'm going to go Black Widow. But Natalie, what are your thoughts on this one?
I don't think they're going to mess up Wanda's hair, at least not the doll-like thing, because they've already produced it with Wonder Woman. Like, just do the same thing you did and just don't screw up the color. The color will ruin it. It is, even now, and I told this to you actually because when this came out, you were here in Florida exactly a year ago. We were talking about this in line for one of the haunted houses. And I said, I'm a little tempted to go with the sculpted because the other one looks, that orange is so orange. And I had to go back and look at the pictures. And so I'm afraid if they don't get that color spot on, it will look doll-like, not because the texture, but because of the color. Plus the other two just dropped and they are so good. And I say they just dropped. I feel like they both just dropped because I stare at them in awe and I wish I had both of them. And I'm just waiting for this one to show up. So I hope they don't disappoint. I'm not going to say that it will. I'm hoping it doesn't. But I'm saying this a lot today. I need to not do this again. Remind me next time. But I agree with Kiko. I think I'm going to go with the Tom Holland as well. I have that Iron Spider. You can't see him. Anyway, I'm in the way. I have that Iron Spider, the regular version, and it does crease. Now, I've also put it in really dynamic poses and then, did the whole like super straight arms and then it goes away, but you'll always see that little line there. It doesn't bother me. It bothers some. So you have this really expensive, really nice figure where he looks like he's just been beat up. I think the good part about it is that you can keep him in a very stoic pose because his face is very stoic, but it's a Spider-Man, right? I think they're going to mess his hair up because I don't think that they've shown the Joker. The Joker's hair came out pretty good. It's almost the same length as the Anakin, so I think they'll get that one okay. Loki as well. But I'm pretty nervous on how short that is because even InArt, right? The father of rooted hair, right? Pioneered it for us. And even they struggled with their Bruce. That Bruce hair looks like a doll's hair. Say I'm wrong, that's fine. But I think they're gonna struggle with that hairline, I think.
Yeah.
So
that's fair. I mean, it looks good. It looks good in the prototype, but that could be fair. I think to me, the slam dunk would be Jack. I mean, like, I think they already did that well. It wasn't, some of it was rooted actually, but they already did that well with the Dead Man Tell No Tales original version, DX15 or whatever it was. So that one's a slam dunk. They're going to be fine.
So like when I talk about any of these, the one that makes me smile the biggest as I speak about it is the Jack Sparrow. That's how you know I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, Jack Sparrow looks incredible. I'm most excited for Loki, obviously, but Jack Sparrow is, pretty incredible. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for your thoughts on that one. I think we had a good discussion about it. We'll see. Let us know in the comments, in the live chat about what your thoughts are in that one. And guys, we're out of topics. So we rolled through those pretty quickly. I will say, I messaged this to Kiko now. I didn't tell you this. We're going to try this. This could be a total flop. What do people want to hear us talk? Is there something you want us to talk about in the last 7 to 8 minutes? Is there questions you have for us? Is there anything you want to hear about? If not, we'll end the show and it'll be a good run. We had a good show. But if people want us to talk for the next 5 to 7 minutes, we can do that because I'm not coming up with another topic because I think we've already covered everything. Kiko, you're the best at this. You do these all the time.
I do. And people are pretty willing to send their opinions. And so I anticipate people are going to start sending some shit. So I'm ready to go.
We got one right now. Kiko, what's your thoughts on InArt's business practice?
I've answered that already.
Darth Malik is trolling for sure. Yeah, that's honestly, it's a good question. It's a good troll question. But yeah, I mean, if there's something you guys want to hear us talk about for the next 5, otherwise we're just going to be floundering here for the next 5 minutes. But in the meantime, B Bag said, what's the best now with Return of the Jedi out? Best Vader? I think it's Kenobi. Kiko, what do you think? Is it Kenobi? Or are you ready to join the team?
No, I'll say it's probably Rogue One.
You're just being stubborn at this point. You know it's Kenobi, dude. You know it's Kenobi. Natalie, what do you think?
I have no dog in that fight.
Yes, you do.
Are we talking about the definitive or like the best figure overall?
The best Vader and definitive. It's Kenobi.
Not definitive, but the best figure for sure because of the light up function is Kenobi Vader. Yes.
Okay. Throwing away boxes, Kiko. I think we know your stance on that one.
Yeah.
Natalie, you keep your boxes, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea. I just have so many. This room is piling up with boxes. I've got some of them behind me right now, as you can see. I've got to do something. Like I have a storage closet in the garage that is now full, and so now boxes have taken over a closet. It's not good. I'm ready to just, honestly, I have so many figures that are boxed up. I need to just get rid of them, bite the bullet, sell them away. I'll probably do them for just like a really great price too, like Black Friday sale, $100, take whatever ones you want. I don't care. But I need to get them out of here because I'm overflowing.
Is that my boy Drago?
Oh, I didn't realize it wasn't on mute. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Otherwise, I would have.
It's all good.
That's Drago.
Thumbs up. YouTube said thoughts on
Amy
the
just came out.
Nice. The J&D 1/6 line. I think they're super overpriced. I think most people think they're overpriced. I'm getting the Joker though, but Batman is an absolute no-go. You guys agree it's probably overpriced, right? Yeah. I think that one's definitely been answered.
Money laundering. We've already talked about that.
Wonder Woman was the first Artisan. Would you consider that? I think kind of. It was like Artisan light.
It was a trial run. It was not listed as Artisan because they said the first one they got the Artisan logo in the bottom of both Joker and Anakin. So
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's true.
I would consider it, even though it wasn't labeled as such. Just like I would consider.
Well, that also didn't have the rolling eyes, so that's not part of it either.
Right.
Well, what makes an Artisan not rolling eyes? Because
we know that because
we don't even know.
We don't know at this point because Beetlejuice would be considered an Artisan, but it's not.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's usually rooted hair and rolling eyes, but rolling eyes is like every figure now. So it's honestly, I didn't used to be a believer in rolling eyes. I was like, I don't know if I want that much power. I want that much power. Like it is really nice.
We need not separate. Separate rolling eyes is bad. It's
parallel lines.
Parallel would be nice actually, but honestly, I'm kind of learning. I'm getting better. You know what? Honestly, both of you, Kiko, you know this better even than Natalie does. The game changer that if Multiverse Wanda had rolling eyes, that would be an absolute game. Like that sculpt is so good, but it's stuck in one dead eye position.
Yeah.
And it's like if you could give her a little bit of side eye or have her looking up like evil, like it would change it. It's a beautiful sculpt, but someone's asking about Aragorn for $417. I think that's a little high for sculpted Aragorn, but I don't know. Could be the aftermarket price. What do you guys think? Are you going to say no?
I don't support that company, so I don't know.
Natalie, what do you think? You think $417 for sculpted Aragorn?
I've paid that for that's about how much I paid for my Yondu, and it has no hair, so I can't really say no.
Yeah, that's fair. Smoochie Wallet said, Natalie, do you have more figures elsewhere, or do you have figures in empty spots behind you yet? Or are you just leaving them blank? What are you doing?
So I do have probably about like 20 figures that are just boxed up in my closet. I don't plan to bring them out because I challenged myself. I said, if I don't miss them after a little bit, then I should just sell them. And the one that I missed, I don't know why, I don't know how, was Ant-Man. And so I pulled him back out. I went to box it up and sell it. And then I went to post it on Reddit. And I was like, oh, no, I don't really want to. So I said, I'll wait a little bit. And then next thing I know, I was like, I don't really want to get rid of him. And I ended up keeping him. So everyone else is boxed up, making space for all of the figures that we've got coming that are already starting to come. My Anakin came, my Padawan Anakin. I haven't unboxed it yet, but I've got to do that this weekend. Nice.
Well, guys, there's so many good questions. I think I'm gonna answer one more here. I'm sorry I won't be able to get to everything. I'm already overwhelmed with all the questions. So thank you so much for the engagement. But this one's good from Fig Fate. So shout out to Mike. Has your guys' passion for collecting stayed the same since you started? I feel like I'm losing interest in figures. Just doesn't excite me as much as they used to. I think this was a good one. For me, it has. I think it just depends on something new but priorities change. I get that. Interests change. So over time, it's like you might lessen your investment in terms of like how many figures you're buying per year, but my love for the hobby still remain the same. Kiko, how do you feel?
That's a great question because I'm a collector. I've always been a collector, will be a collector, but the overwhelming, like, this is your life type of thing.
Right.
Like, if you haven't, because you're like, what's coming up on the nothing, Will. Nothing's coming up on the channel. Nothing's coming up on Instagram because I don't want to think about it all the time. And that's one thing I did personally is that I was like, you know, this is taking more of a toll out of my life than I want it to be. And it's not, when it's work to put something out and it's not fun, then you don't do it. And it was a work to put a post up and do a video. And, but well, you're just lazy. You're not dedicated to it. No, I want to sit down there and have time with my family. And I want to go on trips. And I wanted, all this shit's going to be here still. And more pre-orders are coming in and that's fine. But I don't have to post about it every single time and make a video about it every single day. And for the people that do that, that's your job. Cool. But that's not my job. And I've been traveling more for work. And so when I'm sitting there, like away from my life, I'm wondering like, did Amy take the wings out or did I pay my NRD? You know, I don't care because I love all this stuff. I do. But it's easy when you go really balls to the wall as a collector and you're like, I need a new release. Got to find out what does everybody think about it? I don't care what you think about it. And I don't want you to care about what I think about it either sometimes. Like, I love the community. I do. Don't get me wrong on that. But sometimes it's okay to take a step back. You know, outside of Monday Night Raw, there are seasons to things. Monday Night Raw is the only or the longest running episodic TV show in history. But everything else has seasons. TV shows has seasons. Football, sports has seasons. And I honestly thought about, you know what, I might do a seasonal YouTube channel just so I can say, okay, we're coming to the season finale and then the season opening, you know, you can really build up to those things, then take some time for yourself. That way you don't get burnt out. At least I'm just talking to myself at this point. So did that answer your question, Will? So there you go.
I think it's very fair. I mean, I see Marco in the chat too. I mean, I haven't put out as much content lately either. So, I mean, I feel that too. I mean, it's, you know, I've also been busy doing other things. Like I have a new girlfriend, like I've been busy doing other stuff.
Life is fun. Enjoy it.
Yeah. So, I mean, but I'm also doing both. Like just like you, we're balancing, we're finding our way as we go. But yeah, so Natalie, you still love it the same, right?
I've gone through phases. Like there was probably 2 or 3 instances, and I've been collecting since like 2018, 2017, 2018. And I've gone through phases where I get into like this manic collecting. Oh my God. And granted, COVID probably didn't help that, right? But you know, I got to get it all, got to collect all the Pokemon, right? And then you stop for a little bit because you're waiting for everything to come. Yeah. And then I see something shiny, whether that be, oh, I like to play this game now and I'm just obsessed with this game. So I stopped so much with this and then I get a little bored of it and I'm like, damn, I got all these figures. So maybe I can sell them a little bit. And I'll look online and I'll start seeing people's collections. And then I'm like, oh, this is nice. When did this drop? And then I invigorate my passion for it. So as much as I tried at some point to get out, it just pulled me right back in. So I think it's just about taking those breaks because for a while, I got a little bored with collecting. The things that were coming out weren't really piquing my interest, but I took a little break from it and then started watching a couple streams again, started looking at posts again, got excited about it again. But I think it's healthy to get excited and into something and then let it take a back seat. And if it phases out, it phases out. But most of the time, especially with people like us, it comes right back.
There's always a balance to be struck in life for sure. And that's what I've always tried to preach, like, you know, curate, find the balance and go from there. Kiko, is there anything you want to mention at all?
Other than that, I hope that didn't come off too harsh. I love everybody that interacts with me and we chat and all that. But at the end of the day, you know, sometimes there's a time and season for everything. And right now, that's what I care about. We need to figure out how to get to 3-4 and to 4-4 and to potentially get a winning record and maybe make the playoffs because it's frustrating, Will, when you follow a sports team and you get really, really invested and you essentially your season's over like a month into it. That's not fun. And so that's very stressful. And then I guess it's just for some reason, every sport I follow, the Predators have not won a game yet this season. We're 0-4. My team.
I went to a Predators game.
You did when they were actually good, and I don't know what's happening at this point. So, like, I was embarrassed to where I went to go vote the other day. You might have saw that on my story. And by the way, it is election season, people. Regardless of what state you're in, if you're an American person, use that. That's a right that you have. You know, whether you say, "Oh, my vote don't count at all." There's also things at local levels. Decide if you want to have a road put in or elect somebody that's going to make your city better. you might not be able to affect what's the big picture, but you can affect your local levels for sure. And so I'm a big advocate for that. But anyway, I went to to vote, and I had my Predator hat on, and the guy pulled me aside. I thought I did something wrong, like voting in line. He's like, "What are you wearing that for? They've not won a game." I'm like, "You're right."
Yeah, it was funny because Kiko, I am a Dodgers fan technically, but I don't follow baseball that closely. I was at a pumpkin patch the other day, actually, like a pumpkin farm, and then I had a Dodgers on. He was like, "You guys won a big game the other night." I was like, "Yeah, we did." I had no idea. I was like,
"We scored more touchdowns than anybody."
Yeah, it was like, "Yeah, we kicked a lot of field goals in that game." So yeah. But you know what they say, more field goals, less wins. But that's what they say. But Natalie, is there anything you want to say? Thank you, by the way, for joining, and I'm glad you're well in Florida.
Yes, doing great. I really liked this last 7 minutes, this AMA style. You need to find a stream to be able to do that. I don't know, maybe that would be your stream. It was enjoyable.
Kiko does really well with that, so he would be the one to ask about that.
Oh my goodness, he's so good with on the fly questions and answers. He takes you down like a journey. He talks and you can see it happening. Me, I'm terrible at this stuff. I'm not good with on the fly questions, but we have Kiko for that, right?
Yeah.
That's why we let Kiko always go first. I need 8 minutes to think about what I'm going to say.
People get pissed that I interrupt you, though. They're like, "Here's your weekly reminder to stop interrupting Natalie."
They do, honestly. Yeah, they do. I interrupt people sometimes too, so it's fine. But sometimes it's a natural flow of conversation. We interrupt each other. It's normal, so it's fine. But Natalie, thank you. Kiko, thank you. You guys are some of my best friends. I appreciate you both. And thank you guys so much for the support. And I got so many people that were so supportive and nice to pity view my Thrawn video, and they watched it and liked it. So thank you. The Bane video review is out now, so check that out if you want to watch that review. I love that figure, by the way. Spoiler alert. And there'll be other reviews, big picture stuff. There's not really another review I have coming soon, so it'll probably be more big picture stuff again moving forward, at least for a while, to balance things out a bit. But thank you guys for the support. Really appreciate that. And keep collecting, enjoy it. And if sometimes if you need to take a break, that's fine too. There's always a balance to be struck in life. But I appreciate all you guys. A lot of cool stuff going on. And have a good weekend. Be safe. And thank you so much, as always. I'm being very sentimental right now, but thank you guys. Bye. Thank you for watching another episode of Lights, Camera, Collect. Please make sure to click the like button and subscribe to this channel. And of course, check out my amazing co-host channel, Kiko Collects, linked in the description below. Thank you so much, and see you in the next one.